What is the real issue with the Westside Subway tunneling underneath Beverly Hills High School? For years, the Westside Subway was routed under Santa Monica Boulevard and not underneath dozens of homes and a high school constructed in 1928. What changed? The Beverly Hills Courier found out campaign contributions from Century City developers to top Los Angeles politicians, backed up by a payoff by Metro to one developer. But this movie is not about payoffs and politics. It's about the science Metro refuses to talk about. Why did Metro shift from Beverly Hills-supported Santa Monica Boulevard station to the tunnel underneath Beverly High? Metro states that they want to move the station because of a potentially active fault zone underneath the proposed station on Santa Monica Boulevard. If the fault is the safety issue, then let's ask some questions about it. The danger of a fault is its potential to cause an earthquake, right? Metro tells us that a Santa Monica station is unsafe due to an impending massive earthquake at the intersection of Santa Monica and Avenue of the Stars, as it would take a large-scale earthquake to cause substantial damage to their station. They also tell us that a station barely 900 feet away on Constellation Boulevard is safer. So what's wrong with that? We don't want subway riders endangered, right? But will moving the station make the subway station visitors safer? That's the big question. We won't argue about whether that quake will ever occur. Let's assume the big one does hit right on Santa Monica after the subway is constructed, as Metro assumes. We generally know what will happen. We had the 1933 Long Beach earthquake and the 1994 Northridge earthquake as references. Massive force, substantial area damage, power outages. In the case of the Northridge earthquake, damage was reported up to 85 miles away from the epicenter. Metro tells us that so much damage will occur at the station at Santa Monica that the station itself may be cracked or split. One or two trains and a handful of people at the station may be threatened. What about the relocated station 900 feet away? Is it guaranteed to be safe from this danger? No. Massive force will also hit that location. But again, we will assume that Metro is correct in that the tunnel or station will not break apart from the shaker. But there is another danger that uniquely affects the new station at Constellation and the high school, and not the old Santa Monica station. The land that the Constellation station in Beverly High is built on is very unique. In July 1900, the Beverly Hills oil field was discovered by oil prospectors. It is a unique oil field in that it is a large, continuously productive oil field in an urban environment.
Since the 1920s, they've been pumping oil out of our facility. We have a current oil facility right now leased to Veneco, and they're pumping oil each and every day.
The oil itself is not a concern. Of concern is the natural byproduct of oil that exists in substantial quantity underneath the new station area and high school campus. Methane gas, commonly used for fuel. Methane gas is highly flammable and becomes an explosive risk when it collects in any quantity. Metro itself labels the Constellation Station location area as one of the largest methane concentrations in all of Los Angeles. Methane is the real, imminent, and long-term danger to the area that Metro only addresses during the construction of the station. Metro assures Beverly Hills that they can tunnel safely under the high school without triggering a methane explosion, as has happened in the recent past at the Belmont Learning Center downtown and the MGM building on Constellation in Century City. We are skeptical, but we'll take them at their word. Let's return to our assumption of the big earthquake hitting at Santa Monica Boulevard. What is the methane danger with this scenario?
Seismic activity is one of the primary causes of gas migration in these oil fields where you have natural seepage or where you have old casings. It will open conduits for migration. It'll cause failure of construction seams. It'll cause expansion joints to move and rupture even protection systems that are under newly constructed buildings. So when you're in a seismically active area, you're facing a lot more risks when you're doing these kinds of construction activities like building a subway than you would face in Boston or New York or any of these areas that don't have seismic activity, let alone don't have oil fields. It also causes power failures, and when you have power failures and when the grid is down, your operation of your fans, when your methane sensors detect methane, you don't have the luxury of having your fans come on if you have the power grid failure. You may have some power backup, some generator systems. They may fail. You may have breakage in conduits, or you may not have generator systems that can handle the load.
When the big one hits, one minute crack in the station or tunnel seals and the methane will pour in. Same for the tunnel under Beverly High. Power failure will stop the vent fans in the entire region. One spark is all that is needed. Thousands of kids, teachers, and others at risk. But will the big one hit as Metro says? The massive earthquake that makes the Santa Monica station unsafe may or may not happen. The last possible seismic activity was tens, if not hundreds of thousands of years ago. It is complete speculation on Metro's behalf that an earthquake will ever occur there. The long-term danger of methane is real, and the Santa Monica station has no methane risk. Thousands of children, teachers, and others will be at real risk with a station at Constellation and a tunnel under the high school, a risk that is 100% avoidable. Why would any public official ever place these people into long-term risk? Money. Money for developers. Money for politicians and their friends.
One of the frustrations has been the way in which Beverly Hills has been portrayed, that somehow we're not supportive of mass transit, that we're standing in the way of mass transit. And the reality is we're concerned about safety, the safety of our students, the safety of our staff, and the safety of the community who use this site each and every day. And the reality is the City of Los Angeles does not agree with MTA's assessment on seismic faulting, because they recently, in February, as reported in the Courier, that they entitled a 39-story building on Santa Monica Boulevard in Moreno, the 10,000 Santa Monica building, over 39 stories, right where the fault supposedly exists and where MTA says they cannot possibly do an underground tunnel or an above-ground tunnel. So they can't do a 3-story high above-ground tunnel or a below-ground tunnel, but they can. But the City of Los Angeles believes they can safely build a 39-story skyscraper. It just doesn't add up.
Look at the science. Look at the long-term risks. Why should the children of Beverly Hills bear those risks? Why should children anywhere bear those risks?